Well, hi guys, day 3, the end of. It's not gone as well as I'd have hoped. It took a little bit longer than I thought it would. I'll just show you this here. This is what held me up a little bit, but I've got all the outflows connected now and the inflow into the field house. So the outflow from the river comes down here. That's the outflow, drops into the main line back to the pond, hopefully, as long as I've got everything worked out right. So I've got that done. In the actual filter house itself, as you can see, we're in a bit of a mess here but the wife's good about it, bless her. Okay, in the filter house, on the left we've got the river. As you know, I've got the actual outflow connected down the side of that, as you can see. Down this end, the inflow comes in across here, up. That one goes straight round to the RDF. This one comes up and through the Evo 30. Then they go down and round along the back. I've kept them a lot lower than I did before, hoping to save a little bit of head pressure, and then come out there. I've just got to connect them to the RDF, but I don't want to connect them yet because I've still got a lot of shuffling about to do, so I don't want to make that a permanent fixture at the moment. But that's it. That's took me all day to do that. I was hoping to be a bit further on, but I should have liked the outflow to this RDF connected up, but I wanted to get all the pipe work in and around it first, so that's held me up a little bit. But yeah, end of day 3, and there will be some final fixing tomorrow. Once I get the outflow on the moving bed fixed, it's just a matter of connecting that side of the RDF down there to the moving bed, and this side is going to run to the Backy River. So hopefully all that goes alright. But it's like I say, it's taken me a little bit longer today to get all this done, because basically the hold up was all that pipe I had there, all spare, I've used it up. That's what's taken the time. But now it's all done, and there we go. That's it at the end of day 3. We move into day 4 tomorrow. I knew it was going to take quite a while, but like I say, I've been using second-hand joints and that sort of thing. I haven't had to go and fetch any. I did have one or two, by the way. That rubber joint there, I ordered that specially for it. Little things like that. I've got some rubber straight connectors which I shall connect the outflow from the moving bed to the out pipe, so that'll be a rubber connection. I shall have rubber connections on here, but I did before, so I shall just be reusing them. But that's it. I've redone the pump. The pump's found its new home. It's up there now. You can hardly hear that pump. It's a cracking pump, and it does move a lot of air. So that's all connected up. It's just the outflow to the river that I've got done. It's just the inflow to the river, sorry. It's the inflow to the river I've got to get done tomorrow. And I didn't really want to come this side of the RDF with a pipe. I keep trying to think of another way of doing it, but I don't think there is. So I'm going to have a pipe down this side of the moving bed. But there you go. But that's it for day 3. Moving into day 4 tomorrow. I'll see you all in the morning. Well, hello everybody. Day 4. Well, as you know, we're all on the piping at the moment. I've got a lot of it done. I've got the actual moving bed, got it connected to the outflow, so all that's done. So what I'm doing at the moment now is connecting the RDF up. So that's the next job, but it's all going well up to yet. We haven't tried it yet, I know, but yeah, it's all getting there. We're getting there slowly. What I'm just doing at the moment is fitting these 2-inch taps to the RDF. I'm going to put 2 of these on either side so I can shut the flow off if I want to. By the way, when you're buying these ball valves, do be careful. A lot of people will advertise these valves as 3-inch valves or 2-inch valves. What you've got to be careful of is make sure that the smaller measurement is the one you want. So if you wanted a 3-inch valve, you want 3 to 4 inch, because they fit round the outside. So if I'd have ordered a 2-inch valve, it would have fitted round the outside and it would have restricted the flow by that much. You've got to make sure the 2-inch is your inside. So this is a 2 and 3-inch valve, so the 2-inch is the inside measurement, which isn't going to restrict my flow. The outside measurement is the 3-inch, so it won't affect me a lot. But if I'd have ordered the 1.5 to 2-inch, I'd have had a 1.5 inch flow, because the 2-inch would have been the outside fit. I hope you get what I mean. Your 2-inch pipe would have gone over the outside and you'd have had all that restricting your flow, and it would restrict you down to roughly about 1.5 inches. So you want the 2 to 3 inch valves, and make sure your 2-inch pipe goes inside the valve. Anyway guys, I just thought I'd explain that for you. What I'm going to do is run the outlet to the river. I'm going to run it behind that moving bed and then bring it round. I don't really want a pipe running like I did on the last one, running down this side and in. So I'm going to run it round the back of the moving bed, the same as I have done with the 1.5 inches, so it'll go round there. That way it'll be out of the way. But that's the stage we're at the moment. Well, it's pretty dark outside, and at the end of the day we're plumbed in. Everything is plumbed around, and the feed to the Backy River, the feed from the Backy River to the outside, the moving bed, it's all ready to go apart from the air. I've just got to connect the air up and then that's ready to go. The feed that runs to the RDF along the back there, that's all plumbed and in, if you can see it. I've just got the drainage to go onto the wastewater. I've got that to do, and once that's done I want to run some water through it. So first thing in the morning, well, down about first thing, it's Sunday, but the first thing I'm going to do tomorrow is get that waste sorted out and then run a bit of water through it, see if we've got any problems. I'm hoping not, but you never know. There's a lot of joints there that could possibly leak, so you never know. So I shall run some water through it first and then connect everything back up, get the pulleys back on, the motor back on for the drive, and that's it. It's pitch black outside. It's a bit late and I haven't had my tea yet, so I'm going to go have my tea now. But that's it for another day. The plumbing, although it was a bit of an horrendous job, is finally complete. So I shall say good night chaps, and I'll see you tomorrow. Well, good morning everybody, and what a lovely sunny morning we've got this morning. A little bit cool, but I can stand that. It's nice to see a bit of sun. It has been lacking for a day or two. Anyway, today is day 5 and I'm hoping to actually get things up and running today. I want it all up and running if I can. I've still got little bits of jobs to do. All the pipe work's done, like I said yesterday, apart from the drainage. I've just got to connect the waste chute up to the drain. Apart from that, it's a matter of, I did take all this off to make it lighter to bring it up here because the wife couldn't lift it, so I did take some of that off for her. Yeah, I've got all that to put back, and it's just a matter of pushing some water through it and seeing if we've got any leaks is the main concern of the day, and to see how it runs, basically, to see whether my gravity fed river will do the job and what sort of level we've got in the moving bed. I can adjust that, by the way, if I want, make it lower or higher by adjusting the filter cages, but that depends on what sort of level I want to run in the actual RDF itself. So I've got that to do, but little tinkering about jobs once I get the water through it. So I'm going to push on now, get things connected up. I'll keep you guys with me. I'll try to do a little bit more videoing today. Now we're getting nearly there, and my main concern was trying to get all this done before we actually hit the bad weather, and it would have slowed things down something terrible. But now the majority of the work's done, I can press on regardless now and take my time a little bit. So like I say, I'll keep you guys with me today and we'll see what we can get done. As you can see, I've got the waste done. That's all plumbed in now. I've got a U-bend on it so we don't get any smell back from that. The RDF's all ready to run and the moving bed's all ready to run. I can't put any air on it yet because I need a T-piece, and the only T-piece I've got is on the air line that's running the 2 tubs at the moment. But I'm not bothered about air. This is all about water. The river's ready to go. It's all ready to get some water through it. So what I'm going to do next is the sieve filter outside. The water in there has been stood for 5 days. So what I want to do is just drop a little bit of water out of here. I'll get my pond back and pump a bit of water out of there. That's been sat there 5 days, and pull a bit through out the line. I took all the water out of the return to the pond so that wasn't laid stagnant, and I just want to pump a bit of that out and then we're going to see if we can give it a run basically. I've just done a very quick temporary job on the electrics at the moment just so that it works. So it's a bit of a temporary job on there, but it's working, so we're going to give it a run. I'm going to pump some of that water out and see if we can get it struck up. Well, I just purged the bottom drain and shut that off and opened it quick and let the water through as fast as it would flow, and you should have seen the dirt that come out of that pipe. I've emptied that basket 3 times and it's coming reasonably clear now, so I'm going to call that it. But wow, what a lot of dirt come out there. That should make a bit of a difference, I think, to the running of it. So what I'm going to do now is give it a try, see what happens. Okay guys, now I'm going to try to hold you and see what happens as it happens, but if I have to put you down quick, I do apologise. So what we're going to do is turn the pump on. I want to turn it down a bit because I don't want it running too fast at the moment. We'll just see what happens, but I have to keep rushing round and checking for leaks. That's the problem. So we've got water coming in, which is all good, with a bit of rubbish as well. But we've got water into the and it's starting to fill the moving bed up as well. So just bear with me because I've got to put the top up on my pond because this will draw a lot of water from it. Right, so I've switched the pump off at the moment. I'm topping the pond up, so I want a bit more water in there because this is going to take an awful lot of water out of the pond, especially to fill that up. So I want to top the pond up well before we start too much, but we've got water and everything. There was a flow through to the Backy River that seemed to be flowing roughly about the same speed as the moving bed, so that's not too bad. That looked pretty good. I'm looking all around for leaks and that sort of thing, but I haven't spotted any at this present moment in time. The water I've just stripped down there is what I did when I brought the hose in, but it doesn't look too bad at the moment. Everything is looking reasonable. No doubt there will be a leak with all this pipe work. There's an awful lot of pipe work here, but everything's looking good at the moment. All's good in the RDF. Sorry if I'm not talking, I'm just trying to concentrate and see if we have got any problems anywhere. But all's looking good at the moment. So I'll top my pond up and then be back with you guys. Right guys, I've topped my pond up a bit. I'm just going to run some more through it, just to top everything up a bit more, and then I might have to top my pond up again. This does take a lot of water out of your pond. So I'm going to start the pump up and keep our eye on it. Here we go again. Water's flowing in nicely. That's one side, you can't see the other side. It's all coming in nicely. We've got a good flow into the moving bed, and we've got a good flow into the Backy River. Now that Backy River has got to reach the top of the weir before it starts feeding back to the pond. So all's okay there at the moment. I shall just have to keep my eye on my pond. I don't want the water level of that dropping too much, so just hold on a sec, I'll be back. Well, it all seems to be okay at the moment. The river is now going over the weir at the end, so that's going to start feeding back to the pond. So we'll see how that goes once it gets the pipe full of water. As you can see, that's flowing quite well. Once the return kicks in, we should be okay. There's a lot of air in the pipe, as you can see. There's a lot of air coming out of the pipes at the moment. But if I've got to cut that river down, I can. I'll put taps on it, so that's not a problem. We're about half full in the moving bed. There's still air coming up, as you can see, so we're just clearing the air out of the pipes as well at the moment. But I'm just going to check on my pond again. The pond is actually getting a little bit low, it's about an inch down, so I'm going to let it top up again. So I'm going to switch the pump off for now. Okay, the pond's topped up a bit more. Let's see how we go here. Pump's back on. I did turn it down, I'm not quite sure what wattage we ended up with. $80 watts. So I'm using 80 watts of power at the moment. It's all looking good down there. It's a bit dark, I don't think you guys can see too well down there. But it's all stirring it up well. The moving bed's starting to come up to speed. I have actually turned the Backy River down a little bit. There was too much flow going through, it couldn't really cope with it. So I've, which is also a good thing because that'll go into the moving bed what it doesn't have. But it's coming back up now, it's starting to flow. I hope you can see that. It's starting to run into the pond return. So all's looking not too bad at the moment. We've only got a little bit more to go and we shall be on the pond return. So all's good at the moment. The water level in here has got to rise a little bit more yet. I want it deeper than that. I'm sorry guys, you can't really see in there. There's not much light getting down there. So I just want to lift my float a little bit. Just lifted my float slightly on the RDF. Now the water's filling up, we're returning back to the pond. Lift my float switch a little bit more. So all's good in here at the moment. Let's nip and have a look at the pond, see what we're doing out here. And that's not too bad. So I can leave it running now. We'll have a quick look at the sieve filter, and that's running really well, I must say. It's nearly shutting it off, the arm's right up, so we've got a heck of a flow back now, thank goodness. Okay, I'll leave it running for a few minutes and see how we go. Now the water in this side is coming up quite quickly because we had a lot of dirt come through from the sieve. It's let a lot of dirt through, so that is rising quite quickly. So it won't be long before it triggers. Now it was all dry, so whether we've got any airlocks in that or not I don't know. We shall have to see once it triggers. But the water level in the the actual drum is coming up quite quickly now, so it won't be long before it triggers. The actual moving bed, I could lift the water level on that a little bit. It's quite easy to do. I could lift the water level on that a little bit, but I'm just waiting for this to trigger now. I might have to, oh, here it goes. Oh, that's good. Look at the dirt that's coming out there. That was quite good. There's some dirt in there, so it shouldn't be long before it triggers again. Yeah, all seems to be going hunky-dory at the moment, I have to say. It has stirred a lot of dirt up, all this, so it was expected, I suppose. You're bound to disturb something doing all this work. But looking round, it all seems not too bad at all. Right guys, I'm going to turn the top up off at the pond now, because we should be okay for water, and I'm going to have a good check round and see how things are. Well guys, everything's up and running. We've been going about, not an hour, about 3/4 of an hour now, I would imagine, and we've still got a good flow going over the Backy River. We've got a nice return to the pond. I have actually turned the pump up. We're running 106 watt at the moment. Don't know whether you'll be able to see it, the camera didn't pick that up very well, but I've got one little leak. I don't know whether you can see it, just after that tap. That's all I can find, one little leak there, and that's probably the worst place I could have had one, really. But I'm going to leave that and see what happens. Probably will have to have a look at that. That's about it. I've got nothing, everything's spot on with the drainage. I've got no leaks on that. Inside, don't know whether you can see that with the torch, I do use them little, they're 40mm pipe with an elbow cut off and stuck in there, and that actually, I've got them both sides, that actually blasts water at the bottom of the RDF in that chamber and stops any dirt settling. It keeps the dirt moving, which eventually ends up in the other side, but that just keeps all the dirt moving in there, so nothing can settle. Don't know whether you can see that one on that side, but that keeps all the dirt moving, like I say, and nothing can actually get through. Oh, we've triggered again. Let's see what we get. Loads of dirt. Yeah, that's good. Quite pleased with that. So now that's stirred that up with the drum turning. All the dirt there is in that side, and we're clearing this side. There's nothing in there whatsoever. I'm trying to hold the torch so it doesn't interfere, but we've got no dirt in that side whatsoever, and it's quite thick in this side that's come up from the sieve. That must have settled in the bottom of the sieve when I turned it off. But yeah, everything's looking good at the moment. I can actually switch my UV on now if I want. But I must say, after purging that bottom drain, the actual sieve filter, just bear with me, the actual sieve filter is running a lot better. A lot better. We've got a good flow coming out there, and the arm's above halfway. It never ever got above halfway. So we've purged a lot of dirt out of there, and that is running spot on. Well pleased with that. I'm just wondering if that's all the trouble was. We was getting a bit caked up in there. I shall have to do that more often. Wow, a lot of dirt did come out of there. So everything's going quite well, hunky-dory. Look at that, I haven't even had time to take my net off my pond today yet. Poor old fish. But yeah, really pleased with it. everything's doing what it should. Just that one little leak, and I suppose I had to have one somewhere. I'd have sooner it not been on that tap, but never mind. I can have a look at that later and see if we can do something with that. So I'm going to leave it running now, just to see how things go and see if anything untoward happens. But yeah, really pleased with it. Everything seems to be going really well. Well, here we are 2 hours down the line now. It's been up and running. I've just got the lids to put on there, by the way. We've got a little bit of a siphon principle going on there. I don't know whether you'll see it, but the water level in this side will sink and then it'll come back up again. That's siphoning back now, and then it'll come back up towards the top and start again. But that's not a problem. I mean, the Syperax doesn't float. It's not like the K1. So it really doesn't matter. As long as the water keeps flowing over that weir, it's fine. But that's spot on. I'm getting a lot more water through it as well. As you can see, it's at the top at the minute, but water's still flowing over the weir, and then it'll start the siphon and go back down again. Here it goes, it's on its way back down again now. So there's a little bit of a siphon going on there somewhere up the other end, I suppose. But now you can see it, the level dropping back down again. So that's not a problem, because like I say, the Syperax doesn't float, so it really doesn't matter. So I've still got my leak on that bit there, so I might have to have a look at that tomorrow. I'm going to shut it down tonight and then strike it up again in the morning, and then I can be with it while it's running all day. I've got the hospital first thing, but well, it's at 8 o'clock actually, so I should be up and about early. And I've got all my lids on. That's the moving bed. I'll just get the media back in there. And the RDF is running a treat. Spot on. I'm well pleased with that, but we had tried that before actually. It's slowly clearing the dirt out of that end. I don't know whether you'll see it, but the dirt's slowly disappearing and all's well in there. That's about it. I've just got to build that electric box yet. I just didn't get round to that. I just wanted to get all this done before the weather breaks, and now they say we're going to get some good weather. What a waste of time that was. But I got the electrics to do, as you can see. But apart from that, everything seems to be going fine. I've got my UV on. I've actually switched my UV on. It's all working. So brilliant. You can actually, I don't know whether you'll notice it, but you can actually see the flow coming into there now. And obviously that did have a pond pump on it before, 6,500 litres an hour, and I've no need to run that anymore. That's going in there and it's not costing me a penny. So that was one of the big aims of it as well, not only fitting the RDF but to get the river running without costing me any money. I've done a major saving there without having to run a pump at 6,000 litres an hour, 6,500 I think it was. So that's a big saving. I'm on one air pump now to do the lot, so it's really going well. I did say a few videos ago that I was going to have a big purge on saving money, and I think we've cracked it. Anyway guys, I'm going to call that a day. I'm well pooped. I'm going to let it run till about 9 or 10 o'clock tonight just to make sure everything goes alright. Then shut it down and then strike it back up in the morning and get all my media transferred. All these will be full of water all night, so that will help and let me know if we have any other leaks, but all I can find at the moment is that one on that ball valve. So pretty lucky really with the amount of pipe work that's been done. That brings us to the end of another video, and all it leaves me to say is thanks for watching, do take care, and as always, happy ponding.